And first up, we'll look at the lady taking on the big boys. This is Donna Webb out of Oklahoma in the Sudden Impact Ford. Donna is hooked to the truck and ready to go. She's actually going to be the test puller, so she'll have an option of turning it down if she doesn't like the pull. Here goes Donna Webb and Sudden Impact. She's out of here. It's a full pull for Donna Webb and the Sudden Impact Ford. Man, oh man, what a way to start the day as Donna Webb bangs it out the back end. We'll just have to see if the sled's official, but the pull looked sensational for Donna Webb and the Sudden Impact Ford.
It was a little rough right at first and stuff, but then when the truck finally hooked up, it felt good.
Next up out of Music City, USA, it's Donnie Sanders and the Tennessean. And as you can't guess by the bow tie on the front, that is a big bad Chevrolet. Sanders hooks up and ready to go, a former many-time champion on the old TNT circuit, now trying to grab a victory in U.S. Hot Rod competition. As you can see, Sanders also taking it out the back end. And because of that, the U.S. Hot Rod Association officials have decided to re-weight the sled to make it a little bit heavier. And Webb and the Tennessean are going to have to go again. But Donnie looked good on that run, although we understand he had some problems, and that may knock Sanders out of the competition. Back with the motorsports excitement of super tracks from the Pontiac Silverdome. And once again, we have had to increase the weight on the sled, so we're going to see Sudden Impact. Donna Webb will come back. She made a full pull earlier, but they had to weight the sled, make it a little bit heavier, and now Donna will try to do it again. The lady against the big boys, Sudden Impact. She's done it again. Donna Webb, Sudden Impact Ford has again laid down a full pull in the Pontiac Silverdome. Doesn't matter to Donna. Throw some more weight on the sled. She still takes it out back.
When they re-weighted the sled and it's heavier, it made it a little bit harder to pull and stuff, but the truck still worked real good.
The U.S. Hot Rod Association officials are giving us word that they think this sled is going to be good. So Donna Webb has pulled twice, but it looks like the second one's going to count as a full pull. We get the Red Rabbit now. This is Dan Coelho, a former Bob George Memorial Award winner. That's the highest award you can get as far as off-track competition in U.S. hot rod action. Short for the Red Rabbit out of Turlock, California. You got to look at Coelho here as he takes it down. It was a smooth run. He just never got quite the wheel speed that he needed to try and bang it out the back end here at the Silverdome. The official distance for Dan Coelho and the Red Rabbit comes in at 2:18.7. Now the Tinker Toy is up next. This is Bruce McClintock as he takes the slack out of the chain. That's what he's doing right now. And then once you see the U.S. Hot Rod official in the red shirt back away, he will then have a green track condition given to him. And he can take off anytime he wants. Here he goes. Real similar to the Red Rabbit run. It looked pretty good at the start, but at the back end, he just didn't seem to have enough to take it on out the back door and join Donna Webb in a pull-off. So far, no one has forced Webb into a pull-off. She still has the only full pull in competition thus far at the Pontiac Silverdome. The earlier pull you saw by Donnie Sanders had to be taken out because they changed the sled. 2:18.9, the official distance once again on the Tinker Toy. Here's the former national champion, Howard Lewis, and the High Roller. Out of Maryland, out of Annapolis, Maryland, actually. A good Navy man. Howard Lewis ready to roll out the High Roller. Takes it easy, and now he'll put the hammer down. Oh, something goes wrong with the High Roller. And you can see, just throwing his arms in disgust, Howard Lewis is not happy about that at all. A fiery competitor. This guy, well, when he's up there, he really will jump up and down, and he'll let you know when he's unhappy with his performance, too. And certainly this is disappointing. I don't know if we can pick anything out on the replay. He rolls it out about 75 feet or so, and bang, boy, something just locked away on him. Something snapped. And it's only 91.9 for Howard Lewis and the high roller. Well, here's a former three-time United States Hot Rod Association national champion, Bud Jaski, and the Miller High Life Special, trying to match Donna Webb's full pull. He's got it. Indeed, you can see the Rocket's red glare behind him. That signifies a full pull for the Miller High Life ride of Bud Jaski. Here you're looking at it once again, and Bud bangs it out, so he'll join Donna Webb in a pull-off later today on Super Tracks. What a nice run.
We're just looking for a new path, you know, where somebody hadn't run, and then it didn't come out good, and then it seemed to hook up and run.
So we know that two will make the pull-off. Let's see if Dan Coelho can join them now out in the Wild Hare. You saw Dan earlier in his Red Rabbit. The Wild Hare will be his next truck to take the track in Pontiac, Michigan. Again, you got to have a full pull or finish back in the pack today. Here goes Coelho. His trucks are a bit different, but certainly their runs were very similar, and the Wild Hare could not get to the full pull line. It's a pretty decent pull, but not quite enough here at the Pontiac Silverdome. As you look at the replay, the Wild Hare comes up short of making the pull-off today as Dan Coelho and the Turlock, California-based team come up with a distance of 221.1. In this day and age, at the top of this sport, you're looking at him right there, Glenn Davis and the Mr. Sparkle, the Sparkle Corporation Chevrolet out of Miramar, Florida. Davis is as tough as they come and wants nothing more than to grab this year's U.S. Hot Rod Association World Championship. Let's see if he's got enough to get it done in the Silverdome. This race is a bit of a surprise. Mr. Sparkle coming up short of that full pull mark. So Glenn Davis will not visit victory lane today at Pontiac, Michigan. A good run, but not enough to join Donna Webb and Bud Jaski in the pull-off that's coming up later here on Super Tracks. So there's the run for Mr. Sparkle at 221.1. And we'll now go to Tommy Holman and the Saturday Night Driller. The 1989 champ is hooked up and ready to go. Out of Wayne, Ohio, Tommy Holman, Saturday Night Driller. He's really been up and down this season, but he says right now he's got his truck in as good a shape as it's been in a long time. Let's see if it's good enough. Yes, indeed, the Saturday Night Driller records a full pull, so you can add the Buckeye to that crowd that's going to be in the pull-off as Tommy Holman takes the Saturday Night Driller past the full pull mark and into a pull-off against Donna Webb and Bud Jaski.
Well, it's taking some power. The truck's hooking. I got 722 cubic inches of janky power, and that did it for me tonight.
Those janky engines very, very popular in this sport. Well, here's just a good old boy out of the Peach State of Georgia. Tony Osteen and the Georgia Rebel Ford carrying the banner for a lot of Ford fans, although Donna Webb is already in the pull-off. I'll tell you, Tony takes it personal when the Chevys do well. He'd love to take this Ford right out the back door here and join him in the pull-off. Let's see if he can do it. No, it's not there this time for the Georgia Rebel Ford. Tony Osteen coming up short of that full pull mark. Well, looking at the replay, you can see he's really doing a lot of bouncing. The truck just never hooked to the track. And Tony Osteen, I'm sure, very disappointed with that run here in the Silverdome. Still a couple more top competitors to go before we head to the pull-off. We know as of right now, 3 trucks have made it into the pull-off. Let's see if another Chevy can do it, because with that Heartbeat of America blazoned on the front, this is Dwayne Bathke, another Texas puller, as he comes into action in the STP Pulling Team Chevrolet. Bathke will take it nice and easy, gets it rolling, and now hits that throttle. Tell you, if he didn't have that wiggle in the middle, he might have hit the full pull line. You can watch at the middle of the run. There it is. He has to actually go across the track, and that cost him some distance and probably cost him a chance to make the pull-off. Still, a good pull for Dwayne Bathke and the STP pulling team Chevrolet. One more competitor with a chance to make it to the pull-off, and look at this classic. The 1940 machine. It's David Willoughby, and appropriately he calls it Back in Time. Willoughby is having his best year in four-wheel drive pulling competition. Let's see if he's got enough to make the pull-off at the Pontiac Silverdome. Here comes Back in Time. It is a full pull for David Willoughby's Back in Time. Let's look at it again on the replay. It was not a pretty sight. Look at all the vibration, all the shaking, but he was shaking his way to the end of this track and into the pull-off. David Willoughby makes it 4 in the pull-off with a full pull. So there you see it, sudden impact in Donna Webb, the Golden Ox. That is the Bud Jaske ride, joining the Saturday Night Driller and Back in Time in the pull-off on Super Track. As we move to the pull-off, they'll go again in the order we saw them take it out a moment ago, and that means Donna Webb and the Oklahoma Sudden Impact Ford is up first. Well, the track going away and a much heavier sled. Donna has put down the distance they have to beat. It's going to be 211.1 and a half. 211, 1.5 inches for Donna Webb and the Sudden Impact Ford. The boys will now try to beat her distance of 211 and change.
I don't think the track is as good as it was earlier. I think the track's starting to go away just a little bit.
Well, we'll see if it goes away anymore as Bud Jaske and the Golden Ox will try to go past that 211 mark. Again, in the pull-off, we throw everybody's distance out from earlier. It's what you do in the pull-off that determines the Silverdome champion. It's Bud Jaske. No doubt we have a new leader, well past the mark that Donna Webb left in Sudden Impact, and I'm really a little surprised because look at the bounce. He's in all kinds of trouble, it looks like, bouncing across the track, but Bud Jaske, the former 3-time world champ, keeps it straight and comes up with an outstanding pull at 228 feet, 8.5 inches.
Maybe the track's going away a little bit. I guess we'll just have to see what the other guys do. It wanted to come unhooked a little bit. It kind of bounced a few times, and that let us unhook. So I don't know if it'll be good enough to stand up.
Indeed, Bud had problems in the middle of the track, yet he is the leader, and Tommy Holman will now try and knock him off. Here comes the Saturday Night Driller, the Chevrolet out of Wayne, Ohio. Holman is just now taking out the slack. You can see he's got the truck eased up now, and here he goes. New leader. He's got enough to get past the mark of the Golden Ox. Again, it's in the middle of the track where the problems come. You can see Holman also bouncing quite a bit, but then the truck settles down and he takes it just enough past the mark of the Golden Ox to get the lead. 231.2 for Tommy Holman.
I loved it, right. It took horsepower again, and the track kind of went away, and we really didn't know until we seen Donna come back and go 211, didn't quite get the distance. I thought, well, that track was tough.
But not too tough for Tommy Holman to take the lead, and the last person who can knock him out of victory lane is David Willoughby as he brings out that classic 1940 Back in Time. Willoughby has to go past the 231.2 mark that Tommy Holman set down. Here he goes, a lot of wheel speed. He's close close, but I don't think it's quite going to be enough. On the replay, you just saw it. The wheels almost stopped for a moment. For some reason, there was a hesitation in the middle of the pull, and that cost him 223 feet. Back in time comes up a little bit short of Tommy Holman's distance, and so David Willoughby is only going to finish third.
We'll have to get back to the drawing board, rework the suspension, and hopefully our sponsors will spend a little more money.
Little more money to hopefully get up a couple more spots. A good performance for Back in Time, but he's third behind Tommy Holman's Saturday Night Driller and Bud Jaskey's Golden Ox. Donna Webb ends up finishing fourth.